Hello everyone, and welcome back to RuneScape. Today we're taking a break from archaeology to do a court case, because I've had this in my bank for a while and it kind of takes up space. So I want to get rid of it. And the sooner we're done with these, the better, in my opinion. We will, which one's easier, I wonder? It kind of looks like, they're about the same. So then what is the case then? Professor Oddenstein is accused of turning him into a chicken. I think we'll prosecute. Okay, we have a viewing orb. Where's the viewing orb? Right, I need to get it. Been a little while since I've done one of these. Kind of forget how they work. Alright, let's view the crime scene viewing orb. Although maybe we're doing things out of order. So we have to examine the machine and the feather. Do we have to actually, like, use the magnifying glass on things? I guess we do. Alright, so we got Oddenstein's hair. I mean, we did this quest. We kind of know what the deal is here. Okay, how did I miss that? Come on. It's definitely a chicken feather. Okay. And we have to investigate this sack. Chicken feed, yes. Alright. I think that is everything that we need to do in here. How do we get out? Into viewing. Alright, so next up, where's the fingerprints at? One of these should have fingerprints. I don't know. Maybe the fingerprints are in the crime thing? Okay, I will interview the people. We will interview Ernest and ask him about the laboratory. Wait, you brought charges against Oddenstein? Why are you in jail? As if we haven't had this conversation a million times. I'm considered a flight risk. The guards laughed after saying it, so I think it's yet another chicken joke. I've been hearing a lot of those recently. Okay then, I'm here to cross-examine you before the trial. Very good, that's a lovely chicken pun you have there. Just ask me your questions and move along. The laboratory. What can you remember about Professor Oddenstein's laboratory? Not much. I remember he was tinkering with a machine when I walked in, and he briefly mentioned that he was working on something strange, a time machine or something. He asked if I would like to help him, but he'd pulled the lever before I had time to respond. Is that all we need to ask about? I think that's all we need to ask about. Alright, I'm done with you. I'm going to interview Mr. Professor. Hi, I'm investigating allegations that you illegally transmogrified Ernest into a chicken. Rumph, you government busybodies always getting in the way of scientific discovery. Next thing you know, my assistant will be suing me for making her work. Alright, what do we ask him about? We ask him about the machine. Tell me about the machine you allegedly used to transform Ernest. Well, it started off as a time machine, and then became a monster generator. I tend to reuse machines to save money, but that can lead to complications. The machine was supposed to do general transmutations, but I named it the Polymorph machine once it became apparent that only chickens were being produced. Alright. I don't have any more questions. What else? We can optionally interview people, but, I mean, that requires leaving and going to Draenor Manor, so I don't think we'll do that. Now, I don't know what fingerprints they're talking about analyzing. We didn't get any fingerprints. Oh, I think we're supposed to use the magnifying glass on the chicken feed, so let's go back here. That would explain why I didn't get any fingerprints. Yes, give me my magnifying glass. I mean, he's not denying the machine, so I don't know why we need to prove he was here in the first place. Alright. I mean, obviously it's going to match him. Obviously. Alright, let's get out of here. I think we are ready to prosecute. Look at all these people. This court is now in session. This trial is to determine the guilt or innocence of Professor Oddenstein for illegal transmogrification. Is the prosecution ready? The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Is the defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Wow, look at that posture. Very well, the prosecution may present its case. Thank you, Your Honor. Alright, what are we doing first? Present the fingerprints as evidence. Got it. I would like to present evidence. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if I could draw your attention to prosecution evidence number 1, fingerprints found in the laboratory of Professor Oddenstein. The fingerprints were found on a bag of chicken feed and the pullet-morph machine that the professor was working on. Why would a renowned scientist have these things if he didn't plan to turn people into chickens? You can clearly see his fingerprint is this fingerprint is the defendant's. Yes, it is very likely that him having stuff in his lab belongs to him, but whatever. Alright, so then we can skip the optional stuff. We just need to call a witness. Your Honor, I'd like to call a witness. We want to call Oddenstein first. I don't know if the order matters. The machine. Why is it called the pullet-morph machine? The machine was originally supposed to do your common bog-standard transmutations, but I named it the pullet-morph machine when it became apparent that only chickens were being produced. Yes, we've read that before. When you say only chickens were being produced, what do you mean exactly? I mean that when I used the machine on something or someone, it turned into a chicken. That seems very likely, yes. He's basically admitting to the crime right now, so I don't know why we even really care about this trial. It's an open and shut case. Alright, well, anyway, let's call Ernest to the stand. There's good old Ernest. And we ask him about the laboratory. And we ask him this. Did Professor Oddenstein talk to you about his work? Yes, he did. He said the machine he was working on had been a time machine, a monster generator, and any number of things before. He asked if I would like to help with his latest experiment. What did you say? I was going to say something, but before I got to finish my sentence, he'd pulled the lever. I was going to say I can't leave Veronica for long. But Oddenstein never asked specifically if you would mind being turned into a chicken? No, he never mentioned anything about being turned into a chicken. Yes, that is right. He didn't say it. And that is everything that we have to do. We can go ahead and summarize our case. Or something. Your Honor, I would like to finish by summarizing my case to the jury. I will appeal to this person here. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have presented evidence that conclusively proves the defendant illegally transmogrified the victim. This man has no consideration for other people's right to remain human. Ernest was lucky that an adventurer saved him from life as a rooster. If they hadn't saved him, he'd still be clucking and pecking in the Draenor Manor attic. Very well, now the defense may present their case. Can't talk. Members of the jury, I am going to present you with evidence that decisively proves Professor Oddenstein is falsely accused. The prosecution has kindly pointed out that the feather was found on Professor Oddenstein. It could have been from his bed, which, like most beds, is stuffed with feathers. Why must we assume that the doctor transforms people into chickens when a far more sensible solution is being presented to us? The defense calls Ava. Miss Ava, what can you tell me about the professor's experiments? Not much. I've been working hard on my own. So you can't tell us about his pullet-morph machine? Not really, no. You said you saw a chicken around the house. Did you ever see a man named Ernest? No, I never did. This is the worst defense ever, really. So that could have just been a stray chicken. Occam's razor is the most likely answer, even though I witnessed it happen. It's too bad I can't call myself as a witness, although that would probably be a conflict of interest if they knew I was involved. Alright, defense calls Veronica. Miss Veronica, can you tell me exactly what happened to you during the events of this crime? Well, we got lost, so Ernest went into Draenor Manor to ask directions. I waited by the gate, but he didn't come back. What state was he in when you next saw him? He came out of the mansion a bit confused, talking about turning into a chicken. I assumed he was making up stories again to delay the wedding. Does he have a habit of doing that? He just gets cold feet. He also has a habit of wandering off with strange people. And you never saw him in the form of a chicken. All you have is his word? Yes, that's true. Wow, this defense sucks. This defense is, we don't have any proof of anything, but I provided actual proof. Alright, what's he gonna say? Ernest, could you describe the events of the case as you know them? Well, Veronica and I got lost, so I went up to Draenor Manor to ask for directions. Next thing I remember is waking up to find feathers around me and a craving for chicken feed. So you don't remember being a chicken? You just assumed that because of the feathers and the craving that you turned into a chicken? Well, it seemed like a pretty logical leap to me. Assumptions are not facts. You have no proof that you were a chicken, and there were no witnesses to the event, except for Oddenstein and me. Once again, why am I not a witness? I think that will be enough. It's time for you to summarize your case to the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have presented evidence that conclusively proves the defendant is innocent with regard to these crimes. Yeah, right. The prosecution has built their case on foundations that are circumstantial at best. The professor is an old man who is looking to make the world a better place through invention of a machine that he himself stated turns people into chickens. Which means that he has turned people into chickens to know that it does that. I believe we've heard enough. Would the jury please pronounce their verdict? Guilty. You are hereby declared guilty by a jury of your peers. You will be sentenced in due course. Hooray! And we get balloons. It's kind of funny that they always drop balloons no matter what. It's just like, hey, we get to leave balloons, not like, hey, justice was done. Because it's whether you win or lose. Anyway, let's talk to the clerk. Well, hello, I'm glad you stopped by. I have a reward for you from the last case you completed. You'll need to collect it before you can do any more cases. Great! And there we go, we get some combat XP and a variety of feathers and some bird meat. Good stuff. I don't know if these are worth anything nowadays. Probably not, the bird meat is. A little bit. Anyway, free XP. Wow, it goes into Herblore? I mean, that's an obvious choice. I wasn't expecting that. And what's in our mystery box? Hey, mahogany planks, that's not bad. So yes, that is another court case in the bag. I don't know how many we have left. Is that something that you can look up? I mean, I'm sure it is. If we go on over to Completionist, it should be somewhere in here, although I don't know exactly where it would be. Although, I guess that's something I could probably look up on the wiki real quick. Since this was a short episode, I can take the time to do this, I think. Just need to get to the court cases page on the wiki. Where is the achievement? It's All Rise. So it should be up near the top. But I don't see it, so it must not be the completion escape requirement. It's this, and it doesn't have it. Ah, there we go. So we still have quite a few left, actually. We have, specifically, we have 5 left. That's a bit disappointing. I had hoped we'd be closer to being done. But still, you know, we'll get these done probably this year. Have one less achievement lying around incomplete. But yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Bye!